The sacrifices that they made to come into work every day and test before coming in, to sit in meetings spaced out, to wear masks, to have shields over those masks, to go through extensive protocols, to travel in unconventional ways, to get text messages at 6:30 in the morning telling them practice is going to be canceled. We have to do a virtual day. Okay, to tell them, please don't have your family over for Thanksgiving. Please avoid Christmas gatherings. We know it's your wife's birthday. Let's make sure we put that one off to the off season. There's a number of sacrifices been made by all the players and coaches in this league. There's a number of sacrifices that come along as well with the family members of the people connected to them. To disrespect the effort that everyone put forward to make this season a success for the National Football League, to disrespect the game by going out there and not competing for 60 minutes and doing everything you can to help those players win, we will never do that as long as I'm the head coach of the New York Giants.
All I got to say, fellas, is I've been a Giants fan since I was a baby, watching them religiously. I never thought I could love someone as much as Bill Parcells or Tom Coughlin, but this Joe Judge guy looking like the real deal. Stephen A. Smith, Marcus Spears, Happy New Year. I haven't seen you since. Max Kellerman, good to see you all. Everybody looking dapper. Are we ready to do this?
Molly,
What?
I'm sorry to interrupt. First of all, Happy New Year again. It's really, really good to see my man Swag Goo. I just want to know, Max, what the hell is he doing with those Space Cadet glasses on right there? I mean, don't they look like I don't know. Don't those glasses look like something straight out of the Jetsons from years ago? I'm just wondering. I'm just asking. That's some Space Cadet glasses. What's going on?
I wish I could see y'all.
Virtual reality goggles on.
I wish I could see y'all, but I had to transition from Get Up and didn't have time to put my return. But I'm sure both of y'all look ridiculous, except Molly.
There we go. All right.
Thank you, Marcus. Marcus, the frames are tight. They just don't understand it yet. They'll catch on.
Appreciate it, Molly.
Let's get this, guys. Joe Judge. Oh, my goodness. Would you relax, Mr. Smith? Joe Judge slamming Doug Peterson and the Eagles for essentially tanking the game versus Washington to get a better draft pick, referring to this as disrespecting the game. Max, this is serious. How do you think Judge's comments make the Eagles look?
Molly, there's a reason that you said love someone like love a coach the way I love Bill Parcells. Right? There's a reason you mentioned Coughlin. The Giants have had a lot of good coaches, but you picked those two because they're Super Bowl champions. Let me ask you guys something. If you hear what Joe Judge said, really about Doug Peterson, right? He doesn't have to drop his name. We know what he's talking about. Who would you say is the rookie head coach and who was the Super Bowl champion? I can't remember a time in my life that maybe it's happened, but I couldn't recall any thinking about this question for the show today. I can't recall any head coach in any major sport talking about another head coach like that, particularly in the division, a divisional rival. But then on top of that, if someone were to talk like that, you would think they would have the equity built in. They would have the gravitas of having won a championship, not been in their first year. And certainly, if they were in their first year, the guy they're talking about wouldn't be a Super Bowl winner. But in fact, what this demonstrates, when a rookie head coach can talk about a Super Bowl winner like that in the division, and the whole world is like, that's exactly right. What that means is it's time for the Super Bowl champion coach to go, and the GM. And I've been saying this for quite a while now. After the whole Carson Wentz debacle, this is the final straw. But even had nothing occurred before this, this would be enough to strongly consider it. Guys, the reporting is the coaches and the players were stunned by the move. The Eagles, coaches and players, let alone the rest of the world watching that game, stunned by the move. If that head coach and that GM are still in place in the beginning of next season, how are you going to keep that locker room? Who's going to play for them? What this says about the Eagles is they are in full rebuild mode. It should have started the following morning. Following morning, it should have already happened. But they should be in full rebuild mode by this upcoming season. Guys, the only question is, do you believe Jalen Hurts can be the answer? Do you have a franchise quarterback with that guy you took in the second round? And that's what makes the move even more ridiculous. You want to see if your third stringer can do it? How about finding out if the guy you believe in can win a game on prime time like that, shorthanded? That's what you really needed to find out. So Yeah, they are in. Maybe they have their quarterback in Jalen Hurts. Maybe they believe they do. Maybe they actually do. But from the top down, they got to rebuild this thing.
Oh, shut up. I mean, please. I just asked the Max to go get me some tissue, okay? I mean, let me just wipe my eyes right now with that soliloquy. First Joe Judge, and then you just sit up there and blow your. I'll just stop it, okay? This is much ado, but I'm annoyed right now, and here's the reason why. We understand that the Eagles have had an awful, god-awful season. We get it. We understand it. We understand that, guess what? Doug Peterson, you're lying through your damn teeth, talking about you were trying to win the game. You weren't trying to win the damn game. Look at who didn't play the game, for crying out loud. Even before you took Jalen Hurts out to start off the fourth quarter and bring in Sudfeld with his scrub self. We get all of that. But here's the thing. I don't want to hear this from Joe Judge, and I'm a fan of Joe Judge. Absolute fan. I was the one raving about him all season long. I told you this weeks ago, Molly. I said, this dude is really, really impressive. We know he comes from the Nick Saban tree as a special teams assistant with Alabama. He ultimately got that same position at New England under Bill Belichick. We get him. He's no nonsense. He dots his I's. He crosses his T's. The team plays hard. They improved every week. Props to him. But now it's time to stop this, okay? Prior to this Sunday, you lost 3 in a row. You had control of your own destiny. What is it? Going into December 13th, they were 5-7 in first place. I saw Molly getting excited. I saw Max getting excited. We started talking about Big Blue, and then what happens? They lose to Arizona. They lose to Cleveland. They lose to Baltimore.
Quarterback got hurt.
And then 3 of those guys, I listen to you. Zip it. It's my turn, okay? You got 7, 6, and 13 points. That's a grand total of 26 points in 3 weeks after you were in first place. I'm going to roll with my brother, the playmaker, who went on the air somewhere yesterday and said he don't want to hear it. You had 16 weeks to validate your position, take care of yourself, and you were in control of your own destiny after week 12, and you blew it where you needed to rely on somebody within your division to come and save the day. It's one thing for you, Max Kellerman, to talk about the Eagles. It's another thing entirely to act like Joe Judge's animosity and his ire is justified. Look the hell in the mirror and be mad at your damn self for not getting the job done when you had an opportunity to do it. If you're just talking about Doug Peterson, hold on, Molly. If you're just talking about Doug Peterson, I get it. But to sit up here, if you're Joe Judge, and to talk about him like you waving pom-poms and stuff like that, they lost 3 of their last 4 games. That's on him.
Quarterback
You're being hypocritical. I know Max wants to get in here, but you got on Max yesterday about the whole tanking thing and bringing up the 76ers, and now you're acting like it's fine that Philly just mailed it in. And it's not okay. It is disrespecting the game, Stephen A.
Well, first of all, thank you, Molly. If you want to join this debate, I'm more than happy to address you. I am not being hypocritical.
Just
hold on.
Listen,
you brought up a point. I'm answering you, Molly. I'm coming right at you. This is me talking to Molly, the lovely Molly Cameron Rose. You are wrong because I am not hypocritical, not in the slightest. When me talking about Max tanking, I'm not saying it's all right what Philadelphia did. I am saying I don't want to hear from Joe Judge about it. I didn't sit up there and say it's okay for Philadelphia to do what they did. I'm saying Joe Judge talking about it after you enter the game, losing 3 straight.
Joe Judge is talking about the integrity of the game.
You. That's what Joe Judge.
Yeah, Max, get in here.
But not him.
And y'all let me know when I can go.
Go ahead.
That last comment by you, Max, the integrity of the game. What is that? Tell me what that is in this season. Because look, Joe Judge is only talking about this because it's the Eagles. If it was the Ravens or the Chiefs or the Browns or anybody else outside of that division, Joe Judge wouldn't have had that same energy towards it because it was about them winning to get in the playoffs. That's the bottom line. He wouldn't have said nothing about it if another team did it. And integrity of the game, this is the part that's driving me crazy. The integrity of the game piece of it. Because to me, like the integrity of the game when you look at this season in totality was already in flux when you start thinking about the things that transpired. Denver played a week without a quarterback on their roster. If the integrity of the game was so important, wouldn't the NFL just say, hey, we're not going to allow this game to be played? When we had all of the COVID protocol stuff with the Tennessee Titans and the Baltimore Ravens, and people were talking about canceling the game. Max, you said on this show before the season started and said the NFL ain't going to be able to finish. They shouldn't even be playing because of the integrity of the game. So Joe Judge comes up